City Stand.
It's a beautiful day at the newsstand. I welcome you all on the program. This is City Stand. Thank you so much for joining us. To the viewers all over the world watching this program, say thank you for keeping in touch with us. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, still on the state of the nation. We're discussing issues together today. I have my respondents as usual with me at the stand. They are ready to also discuss important issues with me this morning. Let me quickly move down to the Punch newspaper, the Daily Trust, and Vanguard newspaper. Without wasting much of our time, quickly to the Punch newspaper on oil, fuel hike in the country. We have the saga between the NNPCL and Dangote still ongoing. Marketers plan petrol imports as NNPCL Dangote's talks drag. Why is it dragging? We'll find out today on this program. Marketers plan petrol imports as NNPCL Dangote's talks drag. That's what we have on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Moving on to the rider, petrol dealers to meet Dangote over pricing or certainty over NNPC's September 15 PMS lifting. Ipman laments as NNPC delays supply at depot. Pump price nears 1,250 in states. Quickly to the tragic story we have here. This happened in Niger State over the weekend, where people lost their lives to a tanker accident. That's a road accident. Let's quickly check it out here. 48 passengers, 50 cows killed in Niger tanker fire. 48 passengers, 50 cows killed in Niger tanker fire. Quickly to the Daily Trust newspaper. Like I told you, we'll be picking a few of the headlines, then we'll go straight to our respondents. This morning, 48 people, 50 cows killed in Niger road accident. 48 people, 50 cows killed in Niger road accident. You can see this on page 4 of Daily Trust newspaper. Residents blame speed, bad road. Residents blame speed, bad road. To the next one, OPay money points users kick as federal government imposes electronic levy. Down the paper, we are owed 30 months allowances. Border security personnel cry out. You can check it out on page 33 of Daily Trust newspaper. To the next one, which is the Vanguard newspaper. What do we have on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper? The major headline, which reads petrol price hike. And this is what Nigerians have been facing for how many months now? You can see queues all over the filling station. Go to the filling stations in Nigeria, you see queues everywhere. Nigerians at breaking point. NLC Article 1. Nigerians at breaking point. NLC Article 1. That's what we have here. You can see it on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. All right, we won't go beyond this. This morning, we have to meet our respondents for more analysis on this. I'm Michael Adekule. I'll be back in a jiffy.
City Stand.
Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you. It's a beautiful morning already. Monday morning. We are reporting live from Lagos, the a center of excellence, the largest commercial city in Africa. That's where we are. That's where it's happening. You want to get the best news, analysis. You can count on, city points. That's all where all of us in the city are here, to share with you a beautiful morning today. We have a lot of developing stories.
What happened to you last week?
Unfortunately, I was after I had a very funny experience, closer to where I wanted to pay a certain visit. I felt demoralized that morning because I saw a family, going down the drain. The father of that young boy and the wife, you know, was just in for morning. You know what I mean by wahala.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, when a man wakes up in the morning and he cannot lay anything on anything to say take, even for the keys. So everybody was just staring at him. You know, as I was just passing by, you know, I just stood for some minutes to observe, you know, what was actually happening, and I discovered that, you know, for that very particular day, the man is a keke driver,
Driver,
you know, and they have taken the keke from
from
him
him, yeah.
according to what he was explaining. And the wife and the kids doesn't want to hear anything. All they need to hear is that, Daddy, where is it? And the man could not offer. And you know, there was an entire fury within that community as the woman was struggling to with the man just to get something from him. But unfortunately, the man couldn't have anything. You know, I observed it, and that take me back, you know, to the society where we actually find ourselves. Apart from those who are actually in Abuja there, you know, bros, if you go down the suburb, you know, Nigerians are being disarmed as a result of this economic policy.
And that really changed your mood last
No,
week, because
definitely.
some of the viewers called me and I said, "What happened to you?"
Definitely, you know, even when I was talking, I was not just, you know, off my, you know, because I tried to talk to the man, you know, himself to get himself, you know, from the little people we are just saying, okay, take. But the woman was just there, you know, the kids were crying. I think for like 2 days, according to the man, there was no food in the house.
Yeah,
It was quite unfortunate.
very,
you
very
know,
disheartening.
yes, and I felt bad. You know, it took me time. Throughout that day, I wasn't myself anyway. I have to go through that experience. You know, in trying to relate it becomes very difficult for me, and it affected my mood definitely.
Sorry about that. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Let's quickly move on to what happened over the weekend. 48 passengers, 50 cows killed in Niger tanker fire. That's to tell you how deteriorating our roads are. Chinedu.
Yes, very, 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 very. And in Niger State, from my understanding, the governor of that state, you know, has also responded by, you know, to the bereaved family, you know, extended some kind of message to the family. But that is not the really issue. The issue is that, you know, how far when this kind of thing happen, you know, it reminds us of the absence, you know, of government on trying to give us correct and adequate, you know, motorable roads, good infrastructure. You know, you cannot see without roads, without good infrastructure, it is virtually impossible, you know, to move farm produce from one location to another. Nigeria has experienced, not only in Niger State anyway, in all the
Yeah,
major,
even 36 states.
you can see similar thing. Bad
Happening,
road,
yeah.
they will tell you they have awarded this road over and more than 1 million times, and at the end of the day, the government is not just being proactive.
An example is the Lagos Abeokuta Express Road.
Uh,
That
uh,
expressway.
I think, you know, that one has actually slowed down the economic activities, the inflow
in that
and outflow
axis, yeah.
of cars and businesses in that area has actually slowed down. But recently we had a rumor that I think with the governor or thereabout, you know, we trying to get the federal government attention to, you know, kickstart renovation, or possibly, you know, go on to run, you know,
Reconstruct.
That's,
It's not matter of rehabilitation.
You can see
has gone worse.
that bridge that was done there by Amusu, if I can remember.
Yeah.
You understand? It was an added value if they can, you know, make that road truly motorable, because the influx of cars from Cotonou or thereabout, because it has the border with other countries. You know, talking about that road, it's a connecting road for people who want to move out and who want to move in from border areas and other. So it's a very major economic road, you know, that needed. We don't need to wait until it gets to a point where tankers are falling, motorists cannot be able to go through. Okada, keke, everybody is not stuck in one place. You know, that road has been there for the past, if I can remember, over 5 to 6, 10 years now. You know, and it boils me. It's quite disturbing, because we have state governors, we have federal government, and most of them are using for a particular road. Now, if you say that road is a federal government road. Why is it that they should not make it a priority? That priority that some of these roads should be outlined and done considering the economic value to the cities and states they are connected with economically.
And don't let us forget that many have died on that road.
Yes, I've once applied that road.
Yeah.
It got to a point somewhere before Kola or thereabout, where it become quite, unfortunate that people need to come down from their vehicles,
Yes.
possibly assist to, push the commercial bus or even private cars to an extent where they can actually continue their journey. So it has been there for years. At every point in time, they come with their normal parting stuff and end up, but it has not been considered. I think up to now to have been seen as a road network that should be properly rehabilitated or construct a very durable and quality road. That tells me that if it's going to be a synergy between the Lagos State governor and the Ogun State governor, consider the economic value of that road. We would, Nigerian citizens, Lagosians, or people of citizens of, they don't need to remind government, that it has gotten to this point. If that road were in somewhere in Aso Rock, where the president has to pass and all thereabout, are you telling me they wouldn't have given it an attention by now, considering the enormous budget that normally go to the Ministry of Works and Power?
Yeah, I think David Umahi needs to do something fast.
Let me tell you, I think that position they gave to Umahi was purely on compensation. Because he has not. He was quite disappointed. I think he's one of the ministers who everybody's looking at. That Jonathan should just, Tinubu should just, put on one corner and bring in a fresh people. Look at because I do not see the impact of his ministry on Nigerians, especially on roads.
But he had a good start.
Yes,
that was after the election.
Initially, that was the impression. But though it was not. A lot of people saw it as a media image.
They were at some point very active. Very active.
We can say they are very active, but in the real pragmatic results and facts, what stops them? Why are we not hearing the continuation of that zeal, of that political will, of that will to transform environment? But let me just tell you, Umahi messed it up completely, especially on the coastal rail. That was seen as a mere propaganda. After destroying people's property, we've not seen anything concrete being done and compensation is not being paid. So I think at the point that Umahi himself did not get his analysis correct, because it was a matter of looking at what is going to the corruption aspect of what the project is all about.
What are they dragging Dangote and Nnpc out after they increased the fuel pump price?
No, at this point, we understand that Dangote is facing a lot of issues that needed to be resolved, especially the conditions coming from the federal government have not been met. The conditions coming from Nnpc Limited, that one is also too. Then Dangote himself is also having issues, about a certain agreement that they entered. Already where that refinery is located now, there is a very big problem, because we are looking at $100 million that Dangote paid for that land that he located that refinery, and the people are saying that we got less than 100 million. How can you? Who did you pay $100 million to? That is a serious. They are already threatening to shut down that place as I'm talking to you now. That is on one side. The fact is that Dangote, the federal government want Dangote to sell to the NNPC.
NNPC.
Why NNPC will now get the marketers involved. I don't know the mystery they want to unveil by that kind of condition. And Dangote himself knows that this is a private enterprise. I should be able to determine my own process. Because they are looking at it that way, that if Dangote is finally pushed his product, and from what we are getting, his fuel is going to be one of the best ever in the history of the world. What is going to come out from that refinery? Because from what analysis that has been carried out,
according to findings,
yes, from the analysis, from the data this we are getting about Dangote's fuel, it can sustain, it can make the engine, it can give engine lifespan because of the combination, the components that was that came into that fuel, Dangote fuel. Let me just put it that way, to be specific. But the conditions coming from federal government is going to be a serious battle, because if care is not taken, because we know that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the Minister of Petroleum currently now, and he from what we are getting, I think there's a lot of battle, for who is going to be in charge of the crude, the distribution network, because if Dangote refuses to supply to NNPC, they might not give him crude anymore. Dangote refinery is just like every other refiner, every other business. If somebody can come in and open his shop, and expect customers, or whichever way he knows that he can, push his product. You understand? He can go along and push it. But you can see government have invested deep interest that is beyond what we are saying. But clearly, and this thing we are seeing from APC administration is already causing a lot of, on the ground talk in the north, on the intention of Mr. President in trying to squeeze some businesses in the that come from the north. You understand? Because yes, it's causing a lot of problem in that regard, and they are considering the fact that if Dangote is being forced on that regard, to buy into the concept of NNPC or federal government, that is going to spell a doom for Tinubu's political status in the north. So I think the president should be careful, very well, and know what to do. The best thing to do at this point in time, considering the fact that currently now in some filling station, you can see they are running up to over more than 1,200 or more in trying to get food. And for the fact, but since I have been observing this issue of fuel crisis, this is the first time I'm seeing the longest queue ever in the history of Nigeria as a nation that has crude, that has the resources with deposited naturally in Nigeria. In fact,
opposition parties are now calling for the reversal of this fuel pump price. Even NLC, the Incredible Congress.
You see, the confusion is coming from the presidency.
The confusion is coming.
Yes, because as I'm talking to you, the federal government needs to address the issue of fuel subsidy clearly to Nigerians. If they are still paying subsidy, let them come out clearly and put it to the Nigerians that we are still paying subsidy.
Let them give an account of the subsidy they removed.
Yes, I can tell you, go to NNPC record, account record. For the past 60 years or thereabout, NNPC has never been able, to publish the transaction, financial transaction, did not carried out in that agency for a very long time now. So everything about NNPC is in secret. So Dangote need to be careful, because they fear that it might expose the fraud in the government on subsidy and crude oil racketing, because Dangote can decide and come out and say, okay, I'm running my own fuel at 300 naira or 200 naira or 150, per liter. He can decide to do that. But now government want to put a fixed price. I don't know. You can see what they are trying to do now. Some time ago, they came out and said every trader, every businessman, or anywhere you are, you must sell at this price.
It's like frustrating the effort of the man.
Of course, and they might have a plan because when you get to a certain extent, you see the location of this refinery is an added value to the southwest. Because no matter how they look at it, with time they can decide to take over that completely, and disarm Dangote from that refinery. No. Chief, no, bro. Bro, you need to see. I'm not saying. I'm not saying, bro. There is already an agitation in that regard. The people that owns the land are saying that we did not see $100 million US. And that brings us to where the government as at that time, who was the president as at that time, who involved in that business, who was the governor of Lagos State. How did they come to that level at that point, where people were not carried along and their land was sold by unknown individual to Dangote, and now they are saying we don't know anything about $100 million US that was used to purchase that particular land. So a lot of things are coming up, and Dangote need to be very careful. And if they can push him to an extent, he can decide not to sell his fuel in Nigeria. He can export it. So I don't know why this bottleneck about Dangote refinery has refused to go down, and Nigeria is still keen for hours. I can see some people who are supposed to be active economically somewhere, keen on fuel, being on queue from 4:30 in the morning till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That is quite disturbing. I think the presidency is trying to get the vice president, Shetima himself, to call the board of Nnpc to order and see how this issue will be resolved.
Thank you so much.
Peacefully.
Thank you so much, Chinedu. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, we've been speaking with Chinedu concerning the state of the nation. Good morning. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, my brother. How you doing? We are looking nice.
Fine, and you too.
I will get on our coat in the suit. We have to wear to cover ourselves.
All right, Lucky is here this morning to also
Good morning.
give us his own analysis on what is going on in the country. Still on the state of the nation, Dangote refinery saga, the Nnpc versus Dangote refinery. I asked Chinedu the other time that what are they dragging after Dangote must have said that he is ready to roll out PMS in Nigeria, the full-scale operation of PMS in Nigeria, and here we still have Dangote and Nnpc still dragging issues. Of course, the oil marketers have said if an agreement is not reached, they will import fuel into the country and sell. Lucky was wrong. What's up with all these issues on ground?
For me, I still blame the president.
I see it could be a pricing issue that is going on. Yeah.
I blame the president. Why I blame the president is how can a family, let's say, six in a family, and the father is alive, the mother is alive, and they are quarrel, there's quarrel. Something brought them to quarrel, and the father is watching, don't talk. That means father is interested on what maybe one party. So what I believe, Tinubu is interested of how much he's going to gain for Dangote's for percentage. Yes, because he cannot close eye, and the nation is suffering, and he said don't import, and he's just a man who invests for you to buy cheaper. You are nothing now. We are still talking about saying Dangote, who came out and said, I'm ready to dispute fuel. If the federal government can tell me how much I'm going to sell it, how will I go to farm? Then I bring out my yam. I planted the yam. Coming out there, I'll go ask federal government how much I'm going to sell that yam. Very wrong. You understand me? So that means something is fishy. So the president want to say, okay, let me just break it. Now Dangote, how much are you going to sell? Okay, 800, 900. Okay, our own will be maybe 20%. Then you can sell that one. Dangote will tell you, sir, if I give 20%, so many things involved. I will settle this. That is going to contention, nothing else. Okay, nothing else. So it lie on government. So Dangote need to take the bone of the hand, which he have done. What is the bone of contention? Nnpc is saying we don't say, we are not the one that will determine price. But Dangote is saying federal government first to determine price. Is that not so? Okay, who determine price of Nnpc that make 800, 850, 1,000, 1,003, 1,100? See the Nnpc, my brother, they are not ready to serve this nation. Tinubu is not ready to serve this nation. Rather, he's making us to be poor more. He said, they are nothing to hide you. And you know where they are? They say increase VAT 10%. People who are doing business. Instead, Buhari reduce VAT. Now you come and still add the VAT. What is the business? Who is manufacturing now? Nobody. Everybody just looking what will come next. And his government, people are resigning. Why? Because they don't want to have state. People like Igelari. Say, I want to go and take up my family. Which criteria? Have you ever seen somebody when you see ice cream and bitter leaf? Because say you want to take bitter leaf. Nobody asking you to take first. Instead, you want to go and take up the family.
And I heard that why he resigned was simply because he had a misunderstanding with Bayo Ononuga.
Yes, now that is fighting Asoro. Iglari will say president is traveling today to America. Ononuga will say no, he's not going. He's going to Dubai. You know, this side they have been deceiving us. So he don't want to end up the way like Mohammed end up. He has to move. And people are telling him this government has failed. Don't join a failure government. Run. When you were in other Buhari, they were selling fuel 185 or 200 naira. Now people are coming, they're selling fuel 1,100. Run. The village people are telling him, leave this government, let it be his brothers. So that, I'm telling you, that is the secret. That's not two way hide. He say, man is here, I want to go arrest. Okay? As I am now, I'm seeing dollars traveling all over the world. I say I want to leave.
And he said indefinite leave.
He don't go. I better leave that one. I better go. He said, hold on. We are those. We south, but we see not safe. We don't take it. We take immediately there. The man is from south. The man is from Bayosa. Guess what? I don't like him because he thin like a mosquito. He doesn't happy. He followed destroying Nigeria during the Buhari time, and he's still destroying. For him to take that stand, I'm happy. So Nnpc, come back to Nnpc and Nigeria, Tinubu behind the brain of not Dangote selling this. That's the simple time. Okay, don't do it.
Great man.
Good morning, sir. And how you doing?
Very well. Thanks for having me.
All right. How was the weekend?
Excellent.
You look good this morning.
Thank you.
Wow. That's great.
I always smash it too.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for the compliments. According to what people are saying, it seems there is more to the resignation of Ajuri Ngalale than what we all know. He said he doesn't want his matter in the public.
Thank you, Michael. I think we still have to go by what Ngalale himself said, even though there are other school of thoughts as regards why he had to step down at this time. He has told us that based on medical and some other family reasons and all of that, which we have to respect his privacy. That was what he told us. That was what is in the news. Even though some tabloids are already coming out with, just as you said now, that there are frictions between himself and Bayo Ononuga, which does similar thing. These are the media handlers of the president and all that. So, for me, there are internal wranglings, except he himself come out to tell us what transpired. Everything remains as a school of thoughts. Everything remains as probably this happened or that happened. So, but we cannot rule out the fact that some of those school of thoughts may be true. That there are frictions. Don't forget, there are times that we issue a statement and Ononuga will come out to say, okay, that statement was not supposed to be so, and all of that. That has always shown that there was no synergy between the two offices and all of that. So I think it's unfortunate that
a young and vibrant guy like Ajuri, who has been, for me, has been trying to manage uh, information of his boss and the administration, has been trying to be professional to some extent. Even though I don't envy such jobs. Anyway, I don't envy such job, Michael, because it has nothing to do with your opinion. It has nothing to do with your personal opinion. It has more to do with defending the government at all costs, even if you are going to look stupid. That is why exactly, and that is why I've never envied that position. If you look at some of the people that have handled such position in the past, uh, respectable people, people who are doing very well in the media space. But by the time an administration finished with them, their career becomes somehow. We know the likes of Ruben Abati when he worked with Ebele Jonathan and all of that. I mean, you have them like that. By the time they finish, because you have to be defending the government at all. I mean, at every point in time that you speak to the press. So even if you are looking very stupid, you just have to go ahead. Even if what you are saying doesn't make sense to the people, you just have to go ahead. So that's the nature of the job. Also, if it's unfortunate that you have to step down, we respect his privacy. We wish him well. Okay.
All right, Michael, I said it all. He's wishing him well. All right, since he said we should stay clear, we have to just respect his privacy, like you said. And let's quickly move down to the tragic story we had over the weekend in Niger State. 50 cows dead. Human beings also were involved. About 100 people feared dead. 100 people feared dead. And this is a serious issue in the country. The state of our roads. I think the government needs to declare a state of emergency on this. I don't know if I'm correct.
We are talking about human lives. Forget about the cow. Talking about human lives, human beings, Nigerians, so to speak. So my heart goes out to the family of everyone that have lost someone in that tragic event. It's very unfortunate, very sad. We can only pray and hope that God Himself comforts these families. So having said that, talking about the state of our road, being in a deplorable situation is just like stating the obvious. Most of the so-called federal road and in a bad shape, and not only in that axis, a lot of federal roads are not in good shape, which we all know, which we all see. The closest one to us here is Lagos Abeokuta
Expressway.
People living in that axis are going to something else like several other places like that, and we begin to wonder what does it take to fix a road, but for goodness sake, in 2024. I'm not sure if any presidential aspirants in the ongoing US campaign can be talking about it. I'm not sure. I'm not people will be wondering like, what's he talking about. You can't be talking to them in those climes about road. So I believe these are things that should have been behind us. By now we should be facing more serious things. If the level of infrastructural deficit that we have, we are not sure if we are going to cover the whole thing in the next 50 years, Michael. Sadly so, because these things it's like a carryover all these years. If the people uh, have been doing the right thing in the last 30, 40 years, the deficit will have been reduced to something negligible. So it is unfortunate that part of what led to that tragic event was a bad road, deplorable state of our road, which we have always talked about. You talked about David Umahi starting very energetically and all of that. irrespective of how energetic he want to be, everything still boils down to funding. No matter how the good intention of David Umahi to fix all the global roads even simultaneously, it all boils down to funding. Will he have the required funding to carry out those projects at the same time and all of that? That's another topic entirely. So it is sad that we are losing Nigerians uh, to this kind of avoidable deaths, I must call it. It's avoidable. It's avoidable. If the roads have been fixed, perhaps what we had would not have happened and all of that. So we don't know how long we keep telling our leaders to pay attention to infrastructure, to pay attention to things that doesn't cost much. If, for instance, if all the National Assembly guys that took an SUV of 160 million naira each. Michael, I'll keep talking about that SUV.
You'll be saying it.
160 million naira each. Despite the fact that the economy is bleeding, the economy is almost in a comatose. He can afford to pull out 160 million naira SUV each.
Get SUV for
over 300 people or thereabouts.
Yeah.
That tells you how insensitive our leaders are. And that is the kind of wastage that happened across both in the federal executive cabinet and all of that. So we have reckless spendings across board, both at the federal, state, and even at the local government level. And yet, the major things that should be getting their attentions is not getting it. So it's unfortunate that about that tragic event, Michael.
now. For how long will the Nigerian government keep dragging with Dangote? Nnpc, Dangote, not talking smoothly, dragging issues, daily basis at the expense of Nigerians suffering on the street, queues at filling stations, despite the hike in fuel pump price. Michael, for how long? For how long? I'm still talking, you're still dragging issues now. And we have oil marketers saying they will import fuel. This as a result of Nnpc and Dangote not having a concrete agreement. What do you think should be done at this point? Because Nigerians need to be relieved of this stress. Mike.
Michael, my conclusion recently about that sector, the oil sector of our nation, is that the agent of the devil has taken over that sector. And I mean direct agents of the devil have taken over that sector. How will you ever imagine that someone will embark on such a gigantic project of building a refinery whose size is about 5 times of Victoria Island, Michael? That was the size of the refinery. Having such capacity to take care of our local consumption, only for us to be discussing how, initially we were first discussing how he was going to be getting crude.
Yeah, crude, yeah.
After he finished the refinery, the conversation how he was going to be getting crude. When we got done with that, we started how the pricing, whether the marketers be patronizing or not, all kinds of issues began to come up, Michael.
And at the end of the day, he said he was set to roll out PMS to deliver. Now they're having another talk.
There are things that you can't just imagine that it could happen in this country, but unfortunately we are seeing it live and direct. That a refinery that we thought, despite the fact that it is a sad commentary, that the 4 refineries of our nation were run aground. They have remained moribund as we speak. They are not functioning as we speak. The little respite, the little beacon of hope that Nigerians were waiting for was this Dangote refinery.
honestly.
We were told that the federal government had about 20% stake in that refinery, which was later reduced. I don't know what they eventually reduced it to because Dangote mentioned it and all of that. As shameful as that episode is, there is still a beacon of hope that should this refinery come up, there will be at least some level of respite for Nigerians. Because we expect that since the crude is here, the refinery is here, then there shouldn't be an issue of one landing cost that will make the price to be unbearable. So there was this back and forth about whether it's going to buy in naira or it's buying in dollars and all of that. IOC, these guys have put this nation in a mess, Michael.
But we have the president standing as the head of that sector. What's really going on? Does it mean it's not capable of handling that position or what?
Absolutely. That's the meaning of what we are saying. You know, the only way you can measure a sector is look at what is coming out of the sector. Is look at performance. You are getting my point. Mr. President is a minister for petroleum, because the other Lokobiri is just minister for states. So Mr. President is part of the people messing up this sector. We must admit, because he's the minister in charge.
So why has he not been able to resolve the crisis in there?
Exactly. That is the $1 billion question that only these guys can answer.
Does it mean he has a special interest in Dangote refinery? I don't understand. That has made him not to resolve this crisis on ground.
They should come out plainly and speak to Nigerians about what is going on. The more you look into that sector, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see.
People are just. We are. It's like yesterday I was forced to post on my Facebook page that the nation has been captured, based on the headline I saw in one of the dailies. That it seems the nation has been captured. This is the only beacon of hope that people thought will bring some level of respite to their pain, to the avoidable pain that this current administration has placed Nigerians. Only for people to get to such a critical point, and we are beginning to hear something else.
It's quite disappointing.
Very disappointing, Michael.
Very, very. Thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Say welcome to this program this morning.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
All right. Looking young.
Younger. Don't let me remove my cap.
No, you don't need to
Don't
remove
let me.
it. You look cute. You look cute.
Thank God for that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Still on the state of the nation.
Okay.
For a crisis that has lingered across the nation. Of course, we know that there are still queues at the filling stations as we speak. You know that. There are queues.
Yes.
And this is not going well for Nigerians at all. Fuel marketers, I'm talking about oil marketers, Dangote, Nnpc saga. Fuel marketers are saying they will import fuel. Dangote and the federal government, I'm talking about the Nnpc, not reaching a concrete agreement. What is going on? What's happening?
Well,
Nigerians are suffering.
The answer to that question is not far-fetched. What is going on is what has been there for a very long time, which is corruption. At the detriment of the Nigerians, so people want to enrich themselves, and it's a game of selfishness and unnecessary ego battle. That is what is happening. The thing annoyed me when I was coming this morning, I still saw people still killed in the filling station, despite that there is increment in the price. What does that mean? Does it mean that the price may still be increased? Because before we saw this increment, we saw fuel scarcity, then it gives back to fuel increment. Then now you have increased the price a bit, then there is still another kill in the filling station. What does that tell you? That the problem has not been resolved. The increment in the price has not resolved the issue that is going on in that circle. So my advice to Nigeria is that everybody should brace up for the I don't know what will I call it. It's going to be a very, very unfortunate. the price will still increase again. That's what it's mean. When you increase price, we are still facing fuel crisis. That means the problem has not been resolved. And people are talking about Dangote refinery, and the Nnpc come out and tell us that, see, don't think that Dangote refinery will resolve this thing, or it will reduce the price of the commodity. And I told people, I said, that's how it's going to be, because Dangote fuel is not water. Is somebody that is supply Dangote. Who will supply Dangote? Is Nnpc. They are the one that saddle with it. So how much are they going to sell it to the Dangote? So the amount they are going to sell it to the Dangote will determine the output price, the cost price, and how much Dangote will sell it. And Dangote is also, of course, a businessman who want to do business and sort. So what Nnpc is telling you is that the problem has not been resolved, and they are the one at the middle. They are the door that sit both outside and inside. They will be the one that will determine the price, not Dangote, because they are the one that will be supply it.
Okay, let's quickly move down to what's happened over the weekend, where many lost their lives to a road accident.
Inferno.
No, yeah, tanker explosion.
Tanker explosion.
Yeah, on the road. And this was as a result of the deplorable state of the road. Of course, some residents there said the tanker was speeding before the accident took place. Now, what can you fish out in all these things? We losing lives on our roads. That's not the only road that has issue.
We are experiencing something
casualties.
Like
what do you think is happening?
Very, very, very unfortunate. What happened in Nigeria is that sometimes we have good policy, but implementation is very, very weak. Because I could remember one time in Nigeria when they said that those tankers should not be moving during the day. They should not be moving while other people are moving. They give them a particular time to be moving. I don't know, maybe that law was made, that policy was issued only in Lagos, but I think it was in Nigeria.
At some point, I think it was in Lagos State, during Fashola era.
You said that the tankers should not be moving while in the daytime.
They can move from 10 p.m.
So that the number of people that will be moving around that time will be reduced. But that's what I'm saying, that I'm not clear. And another issue is this our road network. It's a one song that we have been singing for a very long time. Good road, good road, good road. Since when I was born, people have been clamoring for good road. And up to this moment, we have not been able to get the good road. And if you don't get the good road, these are the results. Apart from good road, our orientation. How can somebody that is driving a tanker be speeding? For what? Where are you going? Where are you rushing to? Where are you rushing to? Now, the people like that, they should first of all think about, if this Korope have accident, pata people that will be there, maybe 6 or something. But you carry something that is combustible, something inflammable, something that can burst and everywhere will burn. And
something heavy.
And something heavy. How can you be speeding with something as dangerous as that? So I think maybe all this tanker trailer, maybe they should have a special training for them. Maybe they should, psychologically they should sit them down and let them know the consequence of having accidents. Because some of them, and maybe some of them don't know the consequence. Maybe they should tell them and give them special training so that they will stop overspeeding.
I think that is needed before they allow them
to
handle truck.
Yes, now
go for a special.
Nigeria, there is no program. Look at, you will see a very big vehicle. Somebody that you see there, maybe 21 years old boy. He'll be driving long vehicle from north down here. I will be surprised. What orientation do they give him? How expert he is? Who give him driving license? So all this kind of thing.
Sometimes
people
take alcohol, pills, drugs.
Yes, now people of that age, if you don't give them proper, I don't have problem with giving truck to somebody of that age, but how do you train him? Does he have a proper orientation? Have you sit him down? Under what circumstance is he driving? Is he under drug or
influence of alcohol?
Under the influence of alcohol. So those are the things that the federal government.
Now, before I let you go,
okay.
Ajuru Ngelale,
okay,
spokesman to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that resigned over the weekend.
Okay.
The story is everywhere.
Okay.
But according to what I'm hearing, there are more
to read.
Are you also knows him for that news?
Yes. I've heard about the
Are you
news.
trying to get the more?
More of it. Where people in Glale is not coming, is not falling down from heaven. He has brother, he has people that know him, that close to him, they will know what is happening. And if you don't know exactly what is happening now, later the thing will come out. But based on what we are hearing now, that he want to go and treat himself, or maybe it's not even himself, one of the close relative have issue that he want to go and attend to him. I don't buy that, or I believe that there is more to read. But Yoruba will say so whatever happened to him, I even thank God for his life. Congratulations for him that he can at least step aside now. That load he's carrying is a very, very heavy load. So if he can step aside now, and God will see him, you see him too.
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Mr. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
You look good this morning.
Yeah, it's to the glory of God, for His mercy upon me, right, and to the glory of some people that still believe in me, right.
Wow. All right, Kunle, what's happening in Aso? Ajuri Ngelale resigned over the weekend, and everywhere we have the news about what's going on in Aso. According to stories I got, there's a feud between Bayo Nonuga and Ajuri Ngelale, and that made him step down. You have opposition saying, oh, he stepped down because of the lies, in Aso Rock, that he's tired of lying, he's tired of.
You see, when we want to talk about Nigerians nowadays, I think I don't even take average Nigerians serious any longer because they are comedians. We just pocket of them are blackmailers. Pocket of them, they are just to tarnish your image, and with all news, because of the diversity going on now. I think with what is going on in Aso Rock, Bayo Nonuga, give it to him. He's an erudite journalist, and they pay the price for the democracy we are enjoying today. Because I could remember I was in Osun State during the aborted Second Republic, Third Republic. I was in Osun State. I was under the Osun State House of Assembly. I think I used that connection of my uncle to be there. And I saw what these people went through. They left their coven. They left their comforts to the bush because Abacha was looking for them seriously. So for Agu Lori, or what they call this guy, Ajuri shouldn't be competing the spokesmanship with of the president with the Bayo Nonuga. You must have seen the way he's presenting things, or the way he's presenting things to the masses, that is not really, encouraging at all. So to me, what Bayo Nonuga must have done, he has a reason, to put him on the spot. And when you're talking of erudite, Bayo Ononuga happens to be one of the shareholder of the news, if you remember well. So the experience he has, and Dele Alake, the two of them, I think they can handle the presidency more better without even a jury.
Your own point of view is different from people's. Why is it so? You are taking this
because
matter
I don't,
in another dimension.
I don't follow.
I don't understand your analysis.
Average Nigerians is there to tarnish any government in power. Nigerian leaders have never satisfied average Nigerian citizen. So what do you expect? So that I have to go this different way because I know what must have happened because of lie. They said the guy is lying. How come you can say you will be saying that he resigned because he can no more cope with the lies?
The lies of this government. You cannot no longer accommodate the lies.
You could see their forces battling with this government likewise. You should know that as a journalist, that there are some thought forces, right? That they don't want things to be okay, to be all right. And number one of them are this oil mogul. They are the oil cartel. And how many are they? They have hold the jungula of this country into their hand. That any government that comes in has to succumb to them. Even Obasanjo tried it. It could not succeed as a military. It could not succeed. And what I see in them is, I think any of them, all this oil Mongol you're looking at, they always rub the minds of any coming president's hands. They always rub their mind. So that always make the presidency, the people at the seat of that presidency, not be able to tame them because they must have rub their hand, they must have heat along with them. So because if you want to discipline people and you are not really connected to, I mean, the corruption with the people, you can easily walk him out and deal with him. But the opposite is the space there in Nigeria.
Kule, a tragic story we heard over the weekend. 48 persons with 50 cows, were involved in an accident in Niger State. How can we solve this issue of deplorable state of roads in Nigeria?
Yeah, how can we solve it? The Niger States have one of the best, I mean, the one of the generals, the most highest number of generals in that state. That's Niger State. That's where you remember. That's where the Babangida. That's where this Abdul Salam.
Yeah.
That's where there are some elder statesmen too that are general that seen all those guys. Wushishi. That's where Wushishi came from, and it sounds so funny and so sad that a whole Niger State cannot get the resource, I mean the infrastructure, the befitting infrastructure with all the generals that pass through that state. And I want to say it's not only about that cow issue, it's all about insecurity that is in Niger State. You could see Niger State is the most terrorized by bandits, most terrorized state by bandits. Every day killing. But give it to the emir of what's it called? Emir of Niger State, which is Mongol, the one that gave the president Jagaba Mongol. I think he's really trying his best, at least as a ex-senator representing, I mean, his constituency then, before he now became, and he was even an ex-soldier. So to me, I think that state is one problem too many. That's Niger State has one problems every day, too many crises. So I think the leaders there, they need to come around, not only Niger State leaders, the northern leaders generally, and I will even include the southern leaders, need to come up with a strategic, I mean, ideas to tackle any insecurity in their region, because it's just an excuse. All of them are giving. Anytime there is a bandit, what's it called, crisis in their state, they have to call on the president. What are you doing with the money, the allocation they are giving you? What are the governors doing with it? I think they have security vote. What are they doing with it? It's making them more lazy. The other time there was one governor in the southwest was calling out the president that they should help them with the bandits. How will the president leave Abuja and come down to help you in the soldiers are overwhelmed, the police are overwhelmed. You have your own security, apparatus in that area. Can't you launch them out on the bandits? I mean, that's to show that the 3 tiers of government we are practicing is not really working. It's not really working. And you have the governors that are collecting, fat allocation. They've never had it so good than this time around. That some of them are collecting trillions, some of them are collecting hundreds of billions. So what are they doing with the money? And they will still be complaining, Boko Haram bandits. Can't you set up your security forces in your state, different states? There's Amotekun in the southwest. How empowered have they empowered the Amotekun? How equipped are they equipped Amotekun? This country is just a country of joke. Everybody is just a joker. I think you can see there's a spell on the country. It will be very sad for me to say that, but they are doing as if there's a spell on them.
Let's quickly move down to the oil sector. We first thought when Dangote announced he will be, commencing the operation of PMS, he'll be rolling out PMS. That was last week. We thought it should be a sign of relief for Nigerians, but here we are. Dangote refinery still dragging with NNPCL,
price
all
of-
this issue of pricing and all of that. Only we have a president sitting as the head of that sector. What is Ashwaji Bola Ahmed doing? Is Ashwaji Bola Ahmed not capable of handling that sector? What is really happening? Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are on queues on daily basis to get fuel despite the hike in pump price. What is Ashwaji Bola Ahmed doing
yeah,
on that?
yeah. It takes a very elaborate journey for this Dangote refinery to come on stream, and nevertheless, there are some thoughts forces that doesn't want that refinery to work. And the Dangote is having battling with NNPC because NNPC have already imported fossil fuel into the country, and the fuel they imported, they've not sold half of it. So those fuel need to be sold before they can Dangote will be able to fix up its price, because there's price fixing in the issues now. Dangote alone cannot fix price. He himself said it that he cannot fix the price, that he has to go through the NNPC and the presidency. So to me, it's one problem too many for Dangote as it is with this refinery. It's like some forces don't want it to work, and he himself, at least Dangote himself, at least he needs to be upright, because all his prices he has been fixing. The cement prices, you could see how much he was selling to the sold cement in Ghana, but in Nigeria, yeah, I mean, they say charity begins at home.
And what's the president doing about it?
That's why the president, too, all of them, they have to, see how they can tame all this price control, either from Dangote, either from any other industrialist, that want to come in and make Nigerian dry. Because I see no reason why Dangote should be selling bag of cement for us as it is now, 10,000, 11,000. Why in other in other neighboring states, you went there selling it cheaper? Why? Is this country isolated from good price control? Are we being isolated? You see, the problem of this country. It will take a while. That's why we always have a successive government that will never function well, because the problem is enormous. From one thing to a problem, no, they finish for Nigeria.
From one problem to another.
Yeah, from one problem to another, problem no, they finish for Nigeria. That's one thing I just see. That's why any government that come will try its best, and with backlashing, we try his best and leave the rest. But to me,
Ashwaji also try his best and leave the
he's
rest.
trying his best, but is
the best enough?
He's trying his best. The best can never be enough for Nigerians, because Nigerians, I can tell you wholeheartedly, to satisfy Nigeria, you have to. I don't know. The diversity we had. They will bring one thing out from you. Yaradua, late Yaradua, people criticize him. When the Obasanjo came, people criticize him. Jonathan came, people criticize him. Buhari came, people criticize him. Tell me that Nigerian president that has never been criticized. When, to the extent, the layman, the Yaradua, that was a bit under the weather, if you see what people are saying about their president, instead of praying for their president, that's the the caliber of leader we have, befits the caliber of leader we have befits the caliber of the system of Nigeria. I think let's continue like that. If we cannot believe in anything, we cannot, because Nigerians has never had it so bad like this. Number one,
in this administration.
Not in this administration.
Because there are talks that Tinubu has added to the problems of Nigeria.
They are what?
The president's president has added to the problems of Nigeria.
How? In what way? In which way?
With what we are saying, inflation has doubled up.
Do you know that
the fuel pump price?
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know
an increase?
Do you know the fuel price? The fuel pump price you're buying here. Have you been to the outside world? Have you been to the other countries of the world that even that even operate refinery, that even Have you checked how much they are buying a liter of oil? I'm not supporting the government. I'm not, but we citizens we still have a lot to do. Once we don't believe in our system, the system cannot work for
Must
us.
it come in and everything keep going up? Must
You
it
see-
come in
you
and
see,
everything goes up?
there's inflation all over the world as it is.
But it's worse here.
The prices are,
What is worse here?
somebody posted the countries, the companies, how many companies, they posted the number of companies that have collapsed in America, all because of inflation. We hear from them, they call them. I think you have people around. You can ask them.
But this is an oil producing country.
With this oil producing country, but how many oil have we been able to produce this? We are just oil producing country by mouth. Who are the people that put us to where we are? Nigeria was the third largest producer of oil one time, and our Brent crude, was one of the finest crude oil that you've ever talked of in this country. Who are the people that brought us to this level? Who are the people? Let me know. And the other time, they said the past president, the former president, has even sold out. The foundation, has been laid properly. We will not be going through this. There is no foundation that was laid properly. Successive. Just count the successive government that have been coming. There was no foundation. There was no thorough foundation. Okay, let's even start from where Baba started from. Did you have the good foundation for the electricity? Are we still not in that country now? Do we have? Imagine I think there was a good foundation from that Baba time. I'm talking about Baba Sojo. The time he brought in, he wants to diversify the NEPA, the privatized NEPA. I think they really did a good job on that. We won't be talking of blackout we had now in this country.
I'm sure you saw all these things before he took over.
Yes, yeah. I don't pity him. He said nobody should pity him. I don't pity him.
So we shouldn't pity him.
I don't pity. Am I pitying him? I'm not pitying him. I'm just bringing out the facts I'm seeing, and I'm bringing out the lapses I'm seeing in him about the fall, about the petroleum sector.
But you've not been able to hit the nail on the head.
You mean
Yeah. You said you're bringing out fact, but you've not hit the nail on the head.
I'm hitting the nail on the head. That's what I'm saying. The cabal within the Ashewaju,
Cabal or Ashwaji himself.
He's the president. You cannot still call him a cabal. The cabal, the people that operate under the presidency, that they are above the law as it is. So he should be able to fish them out. That's what we've been saying. He should fish them out and give them thorough punishment that they deserve, because they are not the owner of Nigeria. You can't just count 5 people that will be superior, that you think will be superior than 250 million, 230 million people, Nigerians. Are they more superior than us? Right? So the presidency, I've always said that the presidency should get things right, or hit the ground running, or wake up. The presidency generally, it is time to hit the ground running. Never look at anybody's face for the masses to survive, because the masses' life is more better as it is, because without any masses, without the crowd you had during the election, you won't be where you are. So take care of the masses, and that's why the masses are crying out loud. They are suffering. Alleviate the suffering, man, and bring it down a bit. I'm passing a message to. I like him, no matter what people say, because I know there's a direction he's going towards, and that direction is going towards is only we people that are Democrats, we people that pay the price, because I can say I was one of the people that paid the price for the military to give us a breathing space of democracy, because I could remember I participated in all the jungle protests, because there was a jungle protest in which Abacha declared that get those guys dead or alive. So when you pay that price and it comes to reality for you, you need to start doing the needful that will stamp your name on the history of Nigeria. Prosperity. That's one thing we need from the president. He has been there before, he has seen it, and now it's his time again. Let him hit the ground running for masses to be able to enjoy his government.
All right, thank you so much. Right. That's a message to Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Message by Kunle. Raphael Nnpc, good morning to you. You're welcome.
Morning, Michael Adekule.
You're welcome once again.
Say what?
I said you're welcome once again.
Yeah. This is, I think, City Stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, City Stand has gone a long way to showcase Nigerian political mainstream, what is going on within Nigeria and without. And I think we are getting there gradually because without, publicity, let me say, social media platform,
That
in
could voice
place that are the watch, dog of Nigerian society. Nigerians in diaspora would not have known anything about both Buhari and the Tinubu regime today. So we thank Western technology. It was all about advancement in the West there, while Nigeria is still drifting backward. We don't know what to say anymore. But all I know is that every morning we should come out on the social media platform to tell the whole world what's up about African continent, not only Nigeria.
Why Buhari and Tinubu? These are not the only leaders we have in the country.
Yeah, because they have failed.
You're so specific about
I am, because they have failed to a stupidity. See, there's a level at which an administration could fail. But this time around, it is a tremendous failure. Both Buhari administration and the Tinubu administration. There is none like it on the continent of Africa. Why? Nigeria is the only country in Africa that started oil exploration early 60s. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing to show. Okay, Canada was an oil producing country in the 70s, in the 60s, with the highest, what do you call it, customers, and within the OPEC platform, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Then Russia was there as one of the biggest. Lycos Oil, Texaco in America. All these are explorers, oil giants, companies. In America, in Russia, in Canada. I don't understand. But look at the pump price, how it has been maintained over the years in those countries. But look at Nigerian system. Chagari came, he come up with 2 kobo. Buhari administration and Idiabo, they did not add. That Idiabo for mine was a very good leader. Then again, Buhari, Babangida came, overtake. Oil started climbing up to 9 naira, 10 naira. Before you know it, this man Abacha came. It was a bit high until Obasanjo came. From 20 naira, Abdul Salam Abaka, 20 naira, 30, and so on and so forth. Era of Jonathan, 97, I think, 90 something naira. Then this man called 140.
Before Jonathan, Yaradua came in and brought it down.
Bring it down. That was the best. I still repeat it. The best president Nigeria has ever had.
And why can't we have that kind of administration again?
And we never had him. You know why? Because death abruptly threw him away. That's why I said we did never have him.
But since then, we've not had that kind of leader.
Since Yaradua's demise, no president has equaled his achievement in Nigeria. Yaradua was a good man, a man with good heart, listening ear, a man that followed due process. I cite the example here. That was the first time someone went to the court and won. No, second time.
The only president that got
followed
due
process
and
followed due process.
The price
of fuel was Yaradua. The first person to have won gubernatorial election in the court case was Obi 2005. Listen, 2008, 2008, Yaradua came in. Adam Ochomole was denied his mandate in Edo State. The so-called Adam Ochomole that is too loquacious. Adam Ochomole is suffering from loquacity mania. He can talk. This man doesn't have control over his lips, tongue. Adam Ochomole regained his mandate during Yaradua regime. Have you forgotten? Adam Ochomole was made a governor under Labour. First time Labour political platform won election in Nigeria.
The Adam Ochomole that is optimistic of taking back Edo in this coming election.
The like of Anini, the like of John Mayegu, the like of the Iguridians, who seized power in Edo State, their political dynasty could not crumble for how many years? Adam Oshomole crumbled it. Why? With the support of the electorates in Edo State, supporting Labour because of Mimiko, I think. Mimiko connection, because Mimiko was the first a governor in Ondo State, I think, under Labour. Then you have people like Ganifa with me, you know, wrestling with his own party and to make sure that the like of a Labour Party comes into political mainstream. I think he first of all worked in Ondo State, then second in Edo State, now third in Abia State. Are you listening to me? Labour, Adam Oshomole, a good president, a man of my integrity. May his soul rest in peace. Though he's a flu animal, but it don't matter. There are no place God cannot pick a good man. Yaradua, the mother died last week. I know how far Obasanjo had gone to ignite that fire of appreciation across the country over the good work her son laid down in Nigeria. I mean, Mrs. Yaradua, Madam Yaradua.
Let me quickly ask you.
Adam Oshomole was giving his mandate due to what? To working legal process by Yaradua. Today, Adam Oshomole become, make I no use that word. Okay, that man, monkey is better, worse than him. He's not abusing word. Okay, monkey is better than Adam Oshomole. Adam Oshomole come on a glaring set and abuse Godwin Obaseki and his wife that they are childless. It touches people's heart, even though the most hardy-hearted Oluremi Tinubu could not contain it in her heart. Oluremi Tinubu came out on the stage and said, Adam, go to Edo State Governor House and prostrate and apologize so that God will forgive you. Adam Oshomole, Yaradua gave him what was given to him. Adam Oshomole wouldn't like any other person to take what was given to him. Nobody will forget him in the political history of this country as one of the people that killed Nigeria and killed Nigeria and went down mud. You can talk, you can come in with your eyes because you have a question.
Don't you think that statement he made can cause APC their victory in Edo State?
Okay, the victory is gone.
Victory is gone.
Immediately Adam Oshomole voiced out that. You hear? What was filtered in the air was APC going everywhere, the whole Edo atmosphere.
That was
APC going, gone. Mugu will support APC, all of Nana Mugu. All of Nana will support APC, Mugu. Now Mugu na go be Mugu until I go down. APC going, it don't go. APC don't go underground in Edo State. It don't cause APC.
Because of that statement.
Thank you. The thing where you talk now, can cause you. See, as I do here now,
that was a reckless statement.
Very, very reckless statement. Okay, Oluremi Tinubu, I'm aware, you no get child. But I pray make you get child. Let God give him child. Make you feel the way the other women are feeling. They are kwachoko stricken children now, malnourished children. So that Oluremi will carry baby now. How could I come and say, that woman, God and man is listening. That woman will not get noise. No good. You don't talk something like that. If you see a childless woman in your heart, pray for her. Just, you might get misunderstanding with her, but in your heart, say, God, give her, so that she will at least enjoy the benefit of childbearing. But Adam Oshomole, he was talking it, saying it as if, there are many Nigerian politicians that did not get moral upbringing at all, upbringing in their families. Oh my God. Moral standard is supposed to be distributed among all the political leaders in Nigeria. Adam Oshomole did not get moral training. I don't know why his mama did not train him well. It's not good now. This man now to Otoro Kakoso when he was Labour leader in Nigeria, people like him. I don't know that Adam Oshomole can only come out and speak English. I believe in one Nigeria in total. They started throwing chairs at him, throwing chairs everywhere. Iran. I believe in one Nigeria in total. He can speak English. Nonsensical sense of nonsense English is what is coming out from his mouth because he doesn't have human feeling. APE monkey. Baboon, kind of large monkey, is better than Adam Oshomole for what has so far come out from his voice, his mouth. Over. Mrs. Godwin Obaseki and Governor Obaseki.
All right, away from that, with the disagreement going on between NMPCL and Dangote, I wonder if Dangote refinery will be allowed to function well.
No, he won't allow to function well. Ask me why.
Why, sir?
To our own detriment anyway. But you should know that what goes around turns around. When you actually know that somebody is burying his mother, you went to the burial, you started drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. And when sickness comes to your mother, if your mother takes ill, you go spend all manner of money for medication so that your mama will not die. Who is Dangote Aliko? I'm not happy over what happened to him, but I'm here to say the truth. Dangote is the reason why Nigeria is like this. Our Commonwealth money is that. That money belongs to Nigerians. Because he mingle and cooperate with each and every government that comes and goes. Dangote is expanding. The only man that was given the monopoly to manufacture cement and rod. That's why Ibeto of Nnewi died. Ibeto cement. Nobody's listening. Nobody's seeing Ibeto again. And Ibeto brought cement price down. Today, Nigerians are not building house because of Dangote. Buying what? Sole monopoly. Personal, individual monopoly to manufacture and the market cement. Cement merchandise in Nigeria was given to Dangote. Is it good? Okay, now Dangote don't come. He don't jam somebody with greedy person. Tinubu is a greedy man. We don't hide it again. Tinubu has now outsmarted Dangote on the basis of what? Greediness, voraciousness. See, let me tell you, Dangote should go and sit down. Yes. You go to penny them. You go to sweet them. Happy? Dangote, they pay them since now. They sweet them since now. They pay us. Other industrialists in Nigeria, other manufacturers, they pay them since. Why Dangote is catching out because becoming the richest black man in the world at the detriment of Nigerians. Because that was our Commonwealth. So now that Tinubu, his Oga don't come, Oga patak for what? Ravenousness. So ravenous. And today now Dangote is just like, I'm not saying my injury. He started revealing many classified documents. If this CIA, NIA, and DSS could do their work well, they're supposed to handle him. Dangote open our eyes that Tinubu has acquired a refinery in Malta, far away in the Middle East. Dangote open our eyes that Tinubu has acquired Owando and Najib. And all these are classified information against the man that is in charge of the country. So what I'm trying to say is that as it is for the yam, it has come to the cocoyam. You know what? Dangote should go and sit down, start licking his wound. No other person would have done that. Obasanjo parleyed with him. Yaradua parleyed with him. Jonathan parleyed with him. Buhari Mo, his brother, parleyed with him. I don't know what I understand. But today, somebody that has come on the platter of let us catch out and go, everybody. Federal government of Nigeria PLC, managed by CEO Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has come and show Dangote how to do it. So Dangote is he depend on now. He go pay him. He depend us since. Many industrialists that have come out manufacturing rod and cement, Indomie and the rest of them, there are many of them, but Dangote push all of them down, securing only one sole monopoly in Nigeria to manufacture cement, rod, and so on and so forth. Other household wares are under his what? Control. His franchise. Why? Why must you buy franchise alone to manufacture salt and Danusa? Some Indomie products today. He bought the franchise and thereby what? Committing an act of treachery, treacherous to other companies like Korean companies, those ones that are manufacturing Indomie, accusing Indomie of ringworm, earthworm, thing, toxic. Okay, what I say? It's a lot of retribution. For 7 months, so wait on earth. Shahiri.
Thank you so much, Raphael. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining us on today's edition of this program. Join me next time on this same platform. Michael Adepoye remains my name. Please do subscribe on the channel. Very, very important. Share, like, and comment. Very important. Your responses are needed. Please share, like, and comment. Thank you so much, viewers. Tomorrow is another day. I will join you on this program. Bye.
Stand.